people have lost total interest in moving to the UK because of these new rules with immigration and all that. It's like the UK is no more pleasant, especially because popular categories you're no longer able to come with your dependent. However, there's this new category, if I should say, that is making waves now. You hear loads of people talk about it. I've seen Sarika, your knowledge buddy, talk about it on her channel. And then today as well, Tochi published a video about it. I've had testimonies as well. And this is the self-sponsorship visa category. And I wanted to make a video about it personally, but I realized I did not have enough information about it. So ladies and gentlemen, hi my viewers. Today I have brought here Yash Dubal, who is an immigration solicitor who is going to explain this new visa category that allows you to bring a dependent even in the midst of all these crises that's happening now with UK immigration. And I'll let you know all the opportunities with this visa category as well. Hope is not lost with the UK. If you're still interested in coming to the UK, I think this pathway might be for you, so stay tuned. Stop that. Hi, sir. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you. First thing first, so thanks for inviting. My name is Yash Dubal. I'm the Managing Director and Senior Immigration Associate at AYNJ Solicitors. And AYNJ Solicitors is a multi-award winning Legal 500, 15 plus years experienced, specialized immigration regulated solicitors firm based in central London. We have served 4,000 plus clients, and we have, of course, reviews on Trustpilot and Google, more than 1,500. That's what we do. Now, coming back to self-sponsorship, this is like clarification point. There is no immigration route called self-sponsorship visa. It's not a visa.
Before we even come to that, I'm really impressed. So you have over 4,000 clients.
Yes.
Wow, that's a lot. And then you have over 15 years of experience, and then you won multiple awards. With your immigration firm. Wow.
Yes.
I'll leave a screenshot of your website on the screen for people that would like to contact you, maybe aside this particular route, maybe they want to talk about something else. I'll leave it on the screen so they can see. Wow, that's impressive. And are you the lead immigration solicitor in the firm? Are you the owner? Are you?
Yes. I'm the managing director and I'm the owner of the business. It's been 15 years serving the clients and community around the UK. It's just in immigration. So huge amount of experience dealing with UK immigration, specialized in corporate immigration mainly. Wow. So that's our background. Yes.
Let's talk about the new visa category. You said it is not a visa category. What is it then?
Yeah, exactly. So it's a common question because, of course, the viewers, your audience might go and search on UK government website. They will not find a visa category named self-sponsorship visa. And I've mentioned that on my website very loud and clear. And I did mention on my YouTube channel multiple times. There isn't. But what it is, it's a term we have coined based on our last 2.5 years experience. We believe we invented this idea of self-sponsorship at least 2.5, 3 years back, where we helped an entrepreneur client from USA to come to the UK under this route. And what it is, it's nothing more than a simple 3-step process. And I'll just explain briefly if that's okay. Number 1 step is someone has to establish a UK-based company, and then of course, if they have a genuine intention to run a business in the UK, once they establish a UK-based company, then they get a sponsor license for their own business. And then they go on to sponsor themselves to run their own business in the UK. Because they are sponsoring through their own company to run their own business, we have coined this term as a self-sponsorship because they're sponsoring themselves to run their own business. So this is, in nutshell, the self-sponsorship route to come to the UK. For the viewers and for the benefit of audience, I think there are specific criteria you must meet before you even think about considering this immigration route.
So if I understand you, it's just basically instead of you going online to search for visa sponsored jobs, which are not there anymore these days, if you have a genuine intention of starting your own business in the UK, you can use this new category that your firm has coined, because basically it allows you to start your own business in the UK and you apply for sponsor license for your business and you sponsor your own self to come to the UK. So you are your own sponsor. Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Wonderful, right? Isn't that wonderful? I mean, so nice. Yeah, it's really wonderful because unlike the other immigration category like innovator founder visa, you need an endorsing from a third party, which is a recognized endorsing body, and there is a lot of nitty-gritty and compliance to do, and there are very limited type of business you can run under innovator visa. It has to be innovative, and 90% in my view businesses are not innovative. They won't qualify for this category, and so So if someone has genuine intention to run business, they're really, really passionate or experienced about their own business, and they want to start extension of that business in the UK, and they have intention to be in the UK, either migrating to the UK for better lifestyle, better education for their children, and with a view of running a genuine active trading company in the UK, this is the best immigration category in my view today to explore.
So who qualifies?
Absolutely.
What criteria?
Yeah, very easy, simple, straightforward criteria. First thing first, genuine intention to run a genuine business in the UK. That's number one. Number two is you need to pass an English language test, which is very basic English language requirement, which is B1, which is in IELTS, if we translate into IELTS, which is 4 band in each section. Again, I would say it's very basic English language requirement: reading, writing, speaking, listening. You are exempt from English language requirement if you are coming from an English-speaking country. There are a lot of English-speaking country out there: USA, Australia, even Ghana. I think it's also an English-speaking country. I'm not 100. I think 99% is. And Dominica, and there are a lot of English-speaking countries. So if you're coming from English-speaking country, you don't need to do English language. You are exempt. If you have done bachelor's degree, master's degree from English-speaking country, again you are exempt. So a lot of exemption criteria from English language requirement.
Can you use the ECTS to prove your English proficiency for this category as well?
Absolutely, yes. So UKNAREC, of course, has been replaced by ECCTIS. That's what you're talking about. So yes, you need comparison certificate. If you are coming from a country, have done bachelor's or master's, which is equivalent to UK bachelor's master, and if you can get the certificate from ECCTIS, then of course you can use that as an exemption from English language requirement. So yes, absolutely yes. So
and the IELTS, academic or general? Sorry.
It can be any, but it has to be for UKVI. There are many people, they make mistakes taking IELTS, which is not for UKVI. So when you take IELTS, the word of course advice, small piece of advice here is make sure you choose the route which is for UKVI. If it doesn't have UKVI ID, then it won't be valid for the immigration purpose. So that's very important. I mean, going back to the requirement qualifying criteria, genuine business intention, any business can qualify for it. And that's why I love this category, because there's no restriction as to what business you can run. So that's number one. And then English language requirement. And number three and final, I would say, is there has to be some sort of investment that you have to have as a disposable funds with you to explore this route. Why? Number one is when you are starting a business, of course, it takes some funds. While in this route, there is no minimum investment requirement. But hey, look, this is UK is developed country. There is, of course, a sizable living expense. It's definitely considerable expense, an amount you must consider before traveling, because it might be a couple of £1,000. Even if you are doing a service-based business, there will be a couple of £1,000 of investment. We are talking about, let's say, 10, 20, £20,000 to start with. And then you have to consider in legal fees and the government fees. So if you put it all together, based on our basic calculation, we believe this route is good for someone who has disposable. If they're coming from abroad, they should have disposable roughly, and I'm putting some estimated number, £75,000 onwards disposable funds with them, so that they can then comfortably come to the UK, have a couple of initial few months to be in the UK for living expense, plus setting up a business, plus paying the legal fees and the government fees. So that's the ballpark number we have come up with.
£75,000.
Yeah, roughly. And that's the disposable funds they should have it. In my view, again, it can vary depending on how you want to navigate this route. For an example, you do it yourself. You're not paying any lawyers, any fees. So that's gone. Then you pay government fees, which is around £10,000. And then you said, okay, I have a wonderful business. I can start with £10,000. So you can even start with £20,000. So it varies, but generally the people we have worked. So by now, in last 2.5 years, we have done 100 plus cases.
Wow.
Yeah, and we have received 50 plus positive responses from the government after they scrutinized all our cases properly in detail. So it is not a fluke. It works. It has worked more than 50 times. That means it's a legitimate route to explore for those who really genuinely want to run a business in the UK.
Will your firm assess, let's say there's somebody watching us who is interested, who has a genuine intention of starting a business. Let's say I want to start an African snack business, in the UK. I've already started back home in Ghana and I want to, extend it to the UK. I'm clueless on how to start a company in the UK. Maybe I can go online, but probably there's too much information to, understand. Will your firm take my hand and help me establish the firm, help me apply for the necessary whatever legal stuff that I have to do for the firm? And or what do you, is it just advice, or you basically take the person's hand through the entire process?
Yeah, absolutely. So we realized that there were challenges. So initially, when we started providing this advice and service, we started realizing people don't have any connection contact with the UK. They can't open the company themselves. They were also struggling with finding a local director, which is one of the mandatory requirements. You need a settled person to apply for sponsor license as a key person. So that's another requirement. And they were literally struggling. So what we came up with a package where we literally provide end-to-end solution, starting from incorporating company to then get the skilled worker visa for the migrant themselves, which includes a huge comprehensive package, complete end-to-end hand-holding support and services, where we also provide them with chartered certified accountant who will then incorporate a company for them. We liaise with all the stakeholders on the client's behalf. So client has just one point of contact with us and we get things done in a smooth, seamless way, in one package, fixed fee package. So that's what we do. The stage one will be done, incorporating company will be done, bank account, business bank account will be opened with the help of our strategic partner. One of our strategic partner will also act as a key personal director for their business. And then we get the sponsor license for their business, and then we get them a skilled worker visa, so that they can come and live here with their family.
And do you also help with, let's say, finding accommodation when they come? That is beyond you.
We don't do multiple of services within this package, but we have a lot of stakeholders or strategic partners who does that. And we do have strategic partners who can then, we connect with them, who can also help them finding accommodation as well. Yes, they're specialized in just doing that.
With the legal fees, how is the payment plan? Do I pay part of it, and then after the visa is successful, I pay the other half? Or do you wait till you get to the UK, and then how does it work?
Absolutely. So what we do is our fees is we charge in 3 tranche, which is first part, second and third part. So they can pay in 3 installment for sure. We charge first installment at the time of the instruction. And then once we finish the stage 1, which is incorporating a company and getting relevant registration from with the HMRC, getting business bank account, then once that finished, then we charge the second installment. And then once we get the license, then we charge the third installment, which is for skilled worker visa. So of course they can pay in installment. We are SRA regulated firm. What it means is when they pay us the fees, it remains in the client account. It's an escrow account, which is secured and ring fenced as per the SRA regulation. So their money is safe and sound, just in case, anything can happen with the company, but that fund is ring fenced because of the regulation. We are being regulated by SRA, so it's a highly regulated business.
And how much is the legal fees in total?
Yeah, sure. So I can explain that. I've again created a specific video on this. Our professional fees is £30,000 plus VAT, but within this fees, what we do is we provide all this service, one-stop solution. They don't need to pay anybody anything except our fees. So they get their company incorporated. They also get a local director to get their business bank account, a sponsor license and skilled worker visa. All these services, everything is included within package. Again, they pay in three tranches, and it's included everything literally except government fees. So government fees is separate. Now government fees may be somewhere around £6,500 for the main applicant for 5 years of visa. Okay. And after 5 years, they can apply for settlement, which is permanent residence. And for each dependent, it's roughly around £4,000. So if we are talking about family of husband, wife and child, it might be around £55,000 in total fees, which includes our fees and the government fees. So husband, wife and a child. So that's the ballpark number I'm talking about in terms of legal fees and the government fees.
And how long does it take from start to finish?
Absolutely. So it takes around 6 months, roughly. That's this ballpark tentative timelines. If you are very lucky, everything goes smooth and fast, 4 months, the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, let's say 8 months, but 6 months is a tentative timeline, start to end, because there are a lot of steps involved. There's a lot of process to be done.
And what would you say are the main challenges of this particular route that people have to be aware of, before they start?
Sure. So the main challenge is to convince the Home Office that this is a genuine, legit business, active trading company. There's a genuine applications being made for skilled worker visa, and genuineness is the key criteria here. And this is where expert advice come into play to make sure that you satisfy that it's very subjective. There are no specific criteria or document you can submit to make sure you satisfy. It's very subjective. So this is where our 15 years worth experience come into play, where we help the full application and the client to make sure they satisfy all the requirement to pass through all the stages to have a successful outcome. That's the biggest challenge in today's day. Second biggest challenge I would say is getting the incorporation of the company, being a foreign director and foreign resident and having a business bank account. It's the biggest challenge. Of course, still we are helping client, and same time the third and the final thing client must be aware, or your audience must aware, is they should have the full ownership of the company before they submit the sponsor license. If it is not, it's not in their control. And if it's not in their control, then it's just getting sponsorship from third party. That's not genuine, and it would not be perceived as a genuine intention. That is something, probably a piece of advice I want to leave on this channel today. If you do it, and probably people will go and do their due diligence and fact finding and ask other lawyers, because there are other lawyers, they are also doing it, but they are not doing it the same way the way we are doing it, right? We are doing it properly for the client, for their own business. So they remain the 100% shareholder and control of the company. They have the 100% control of the company. This is how it's supposed to be. This is how it can be called as a self-sponsorship. If the control is with the third party, then they are controlling. You are not the controlling party. Then it's not self-sponsorship. It's just you are getting a sponsorship from a third party, and it would be perceived as not genuine sponsorship in my view.
Final question. So let's say I get successful. I have moved to the UK. I've started the business. What do I need to do to keep the visa active so that I can be able to renew and apply for indefinite leave to remain?
Very good question. First thing first, you got to spend at least 186 days in the UK per year. So you are allowed up to 180 days outside the UK per year. So you need to make sure you are resident in the UK at least 186 days per year. So that's residency requirement. Number two is, while you are under skilled worker visa to work for your own company, you have to pay yourself a salary, which would be around £40,000 per annum. Bear that in mind, because it also attracts a PAYE, which is a kind of a tax you have to pay to the government when you pay yourself this sort of salary, around £10,000, a bit more, right? So there is an expense even to maintain and manage your visa and your company. Third and final is, you have to, of course, run your business genuinely. It should be active trading company throughout for the next 5 years. Again, you don't need to hire minimum number of employees. So there is no hard and fast requirement, but bear that in mind. Your intention is to run this business genuinely, and you have to pay yourself this salary, and then of course be a resident in the UK for next 5 years to qualify for ILR in 5 years time.
Because I have a sponsor license, at the end of the day, can I recruit foreign people? Let's say
Yes.
that's this African snack business, and let's say I had somebody who was designing my logo or whatever back home. Can I now offer this person sponsor license to join me in the UK to help with the business?
Yes, the answer is yes. Once you have a sponsor license for your company, through that sponsor license, you can hire multiple overseas skilled staff, as long as you have a genuine vacancy and the person you are hiring has a genuine relevant skill, qualification or experience to fulfill that position. Then the answer is yes, you can hire more skilled worker through that same sponsor license.
So your final words for people that, let's say, would like to extend their business into the UK market or explore business entrepreneurship in the UK or whatever. What is your final word?
My final words is simple. You have a genuine intention. You genuinely want to migrate to the UK for yourself, for your family, better lifestyle, better education. And if you genuinely have a real business idea and you're excited about it, this is the route to explore. I would highly recommend, as long as they think they can fit into this criteria. I would encourage them to explore this route. It's really straightforward in a way. There are no restrictions, and you are in 100% control over your destiny in the UK. That's the beauty of it. You are not dependent on anyone but you. That sense of freedom, that is very important for an entrepreneur. Someone is genuine entrepreneur, they want freedom, they want control. And this is what this route offers. So yeah, if it fits into your criteria, then yeah, feel free to explore this. This is what I would invite them to consider. Yes.
And how do they reach you?
They can reach out to my website, evijustsolicitors.com, or else probably we can leave a link of a form in this video at the bottom, and they can just complete the form. Just to let you know, we are receiving thousands of inquiries, so I want to extend my apology in advance. If there is the slightest delay, someone will be in touch with you in due course. If you receive an email from my team, please do reply to that email. Please read that email. What we do is, We are providing them with abundance of information for them to consider this route with the expenses, the process, everything. Please read them carefully. Someone will be in touch. We are working very hard to cope up with this influx of inquiries. So please bear with us, but we will reach out to you. We will help you as much as we can. So fill out the form, which probably in the link, use the link which is in the description section below, and we'll be more than happy to help.
Thank you so much, Yash Jabal.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.